This video is dedicated to Sachi. She wanted to see layered leggings, no sweatpants. Today I've got on the Hanes leggings underneath with the Satina Amazon leggings layered on top. Both are affordable, extra cozy and comfy, and should keep you nice and warm for today's yoga practice. Lower down onto the mat and take a full body stretch. Point and flex your toes a couple of times. Place your hands at heart center, draw your chin down and back, and select an intention for today's yoga sequence. I want you to focus on one thing that you're grateful for in your life. You're going to come back to the words or phrase throughout today's practice. Don't overthink it. Now, the easiest way for you, come to a seated position. If you're using a pillow today, grab it at this time. Set the pillow vertically. Press the big toes together. Separate your knees to the wide edge of the mat. Sit your hips back onto your heels. Scoot the pillow to your desired position. Turn your gaze to the right and extend your arms long. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. One breath with one movement. Notice how your body feels against the earth beneath you. If you're newer to yin and restorative type of yoga sessions, I will set you up for the posture and then my voice is going to go away. This will allow you to focus your awareness on the right here and the right now. Turn your gaze in the opposite direction. Go slow. Walk your hands a little bit more forward and gently rock your hips from side to side. Breathe deeply. Drag your hands down towards your underarms, firmly press into the floor, and lift up. Remove the pillow. Come to hands and knees. Knees hip-width distance apart, hands shoulder-width distance. Extend your right leg back and rock your right foot from side to side a couple of times. You should be on your toes. This is just a small movement to bring a little bit of space in your hips. Extend the left foot back and rock the toes from left to right. Draw your navel point in and up. On your next breath, return to hands and knees. Draw your navel point in and up around the back. Lower the spine, look upwards. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower the belly down. Cat and cow a couple of times. One breath with one movement. No need to race through this yoga practice. Slow down. Curl your toes under. Sit back onto your heels for just a moment. And if you're using yoga blocks today, grab them at this time. Return to hands and knees, extend the right leg long, and thread your right foot over to your left. Notice that your shin is parallel towards the mat. Now, if you're using yoga blocks, place one block under your right hip to bring the ground a little bit closer to you in a supported pigeon pose. Now, maybe things are really open and you don't need the block. That's okay. Just remember, meet yourself where you're at. You're exactly where you need to be. I've got a pillow resting under my forehead and a block because I want to bring the floor really close to me. But if you want to take this deeper, remove the pillow, remove the block, and just rest your forehead on the floor. Soften the top of the left foot into the mat beneath you. Draw your navel towards your spine. Close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. This pose can be a little bit of uncomfort. That's okay, as long as you're not experiencing pain. Remember, things will open up over time. Press your palms into the floor and rise up. Curl your left toes under. Move the right foot back and return to hands and knees. Shake out your hips a couple of times. Bring your feet and knees together. Sit your hips back into a child's pose, not to stay, and return to hands and knees. Notice that your knees are hip-width distance apart, hands hip-width distance. Move the yoga block to the other side. Extend your left leg long and thread it through your right. Notice that your right shin is parallel, not coming down like that, parallel. Even if you're really high up off the ground, that's okay. Bring the floor closer to you. You can use pillows, you can use blocks. I mean, you don't need to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. You can add to your collection over time. Just use what you have around your house. And rest the top of your right foot onto the floor. Choose the posture you want in your upper body. Your hands could be pushing into the ground, and you could be far from the ground. You can lower your forehead to your pillow or to your yoga mat, wherever you want to be. And remember, you are exactly where you need to be. And the most important thing is you showed up and you made time for you. I don't know about you, but sometimes the last thing I want to do is roll out my yoga mat. But once I'm there, I've never regretted it. Have you ever rolled out your yoga mat and thought, wow, I regret practicing yoga today? I'm curious. Let me know. And if things feel to start opening up, you can take it deeper and come closer to the floor. Last few moments in this pose. Walk your hands towards your underarms. Firmly press the palms into the floor beneath you. Step the left foot back. Shake out your hips a couple of times from left to right. Remove the pillow out of the way. Curl your toes. Set your hips back onto your heels. Extend the arms forward. Flip your hands to the face of ceiling. So your palms should face upward, and the tops of your hands will rest onto the floor. Close your eyes and come back to the words of your intention. I am grateful for. I am grateful for. Walk your hands back towards your underarms. Press your palms into the ground. Remain with your toes curled beneath you. And if you're using a pillow or blocks, grab your prop at this time. Turn towards the long edge of your mat. Separate your knees wide apart, a little bit wider, but not to the point of pain. Now line your feet up with your knees, so not in, not out. Heel in line with knee. Grab your prop, place it in front of you. And once you feel comfortable in this frog pose, place a bend in your elbows and rest. And choose, smile to yourself softly, and choose the height that you would like to be in your upper body today. Now, I recommend rocking your hips forward and back a couple of times, and then find stillness. Close your eyes. Know that you're going to be here for just a few minutes, and things will open up over time. Turn your cheek in one direction so you're not just, suffocating into the pillow beneath you. And I'll be your timekeeper, and I'll remind you when to change your direction of your face. So smile to yourself softly. Change the direction of your gaze. Resettle into this pose and breathe deeply. Firmly press the palms into the ground. Press up and away. Press your big toes together. Sit back onto your heels and draw your knees together. Come out of this posture. Frog can be a little bit tricky to get out of. Go back to your mat. Step your feet mat width distance. Lower your knees to the right. Take your gaze to the left. And lower your knees to the left and take your gaze to the right, just a couple of times. A little bit of movement in your hips after holding them open for a few minutes. If you're using yoga blocks, grab them at this time. Curl your toes under. Set your hips onto your heels. Place the yoga blocks behind you. Sit up tall. Extend your arms forward. Keep your gaze forward. Don't look back. And take your right hand and touch it on the right yoga block, and then your left hand on the left yoga block. Now, if you're not using yoga blocks, you can just touch your heels, or you can just reach back as far as you can. Remember, things will open up over time. Next time you reach back, open up the heart, take your gaze forward, and if you want a little bit more, you can take your gaze to the ceiling, but if not, just keep your gaze forward. Close your eyes, draw your navel point in and up, and breathe deeply. Feel the heart opening. You won't be here very long. Release this posture and place the yoga blocks out in front of you. Come to hands and knees. Step the right foot in between your hands. Come onto your heel. Toes will flex up. I'm going to move my yoga blocks so you can see my feet. So heel rested, toes coming, and scooch, scooch, scooch your left foot back into a supported half splits. Now, find your edge. Now, if you're like 2 feet up off the ground like me, that's okay. You're trying. Remember, don't judge yourself. And then choose the block height that feels best to you. If you feel a deep rounding in your back, you should come to a little bit of a higher block height. If you have a long, straight spine, rest your hands onto the floor, because I want you to hip hinge forward, not round your spine. Looking at myself, I've got a rounded back. If I was in a class right now, I would ask the student to put their block on a higher height, but because I couldn't see myself, I didn't realize my upper back was rounding. You can bend and straighten your right knee a couple of times. A little bit of movement in there will help open things up. But close your eyes, flex your ankles a little bit closer towards your face, and breathe through this half splits. Curl your left toe under and step the right foot back. Curl both your toes, set onto your heels, and roll out your shoulders a few times. Inhale, roll up and back, up and back. Go slow. Okay, you know what is to come now. Return to hands and knees. Extend your left foot long and step your left foot in between your hands. Come up onto your heel. Flex your ankle, toes to come towards your face, and scooch, scooch, scooch your right knee back. Just take your time. It's not a race. You're going to be holding this pose a few minutes, so if it takes you a few seconds to get there, that's great. Have you ever taken or watched a yoga class and it's like instantaneously the teacher's just there, and I'm like, did they edit out the few seconds that it took to set up this posture, or is this my imagination? Because all classes that I go to, it takes just a moment to set up the posture, so no need to rush. Now choose your block height level. Flex your ankle. Draw your navel point in and up. Close your eyes and smile to yourself softly. Curl your right toes under and then step your left foot back. Remove the blocks out of the way. And the easiest way for you, come onto your back. Slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Step your feet to the wide edge of the mat. Place your arms in the goalpost position. Lower your knees to the right. Take your gaze to the left. Lower your knees to the left and take your gaze to the right. Now, I also want you to take a look at your shoulders. Notice that your elbow is in line with your shoulder. If it's down, drag it up. If it's up, drag it back down. Alignment, as long as it feels good. If you want a little bit of support under the neck, grab your pillow at this time. And if you're using blocks today, set them at the top of your mat, and they should hit your legs about mid-calf. So depending on your height is where you'll put your blocks. So relax under the pillow, extend the arms long up overhead. Let the feet rest heavy onto your blocks. Close your eyes and notice the sounds of the room. Let them pass through you. Notice how your body feels against the mat. And notice how your body feels right now. Just collecting information on yourself, not passing any judgment right here. If judgment comes into your mind, just gently tell yourself, not now. Remove your feet from the blocks and firmly press all four corners of your feet into one another and lower your knees down towards your mat. Place your arms in a T position or place them on your pelvis and breathe deeply. Now, if your hips are talking to you a little bit too much, you can place your blocks under the knees, which will give this a little bit more support. But if not, set yourself up, close your eyes, and focus it on your hips, opening up. Turn your head to look left and right a couple of times, and then rest your neck in the neutral position. Bring your knees together, then draw your knees in towards your chest and gently rock from side to side. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Make your way over to your wall if you have the space. Scoot your hips up to the wall. Extend your legs long. Flex your ankles. Once again, it might take you a moment to get situated. Remove your yoga blocks. Place your arms in the T position or whatever position that your space allows. Close your eyes and feel the weight of your legs against the wall. Place a bend in your knees turn over to one side, then ever so gently come to a comfortable seated position. Draw your hands to heart center, take a bow, and always commend yourself for making time for you. Thanks. Have a wonderful day. And Sachi, thanks again for commenting on these videos. Bye.